First of all, I want to thank Dark LR6ZD for this idea. Yeah guys, I'm here with something new. As I'm only going to be focusing on my what ifs that I'm doing, there are just a short amount of them that I'm doing right now. So here's another one for you guys to enjoy. What if Naruto had Shibai Otsutsuki Karma Seal? Yes guys, the true Otsutsuki God. This will also contain neglection as well. Some of your guys' favorites. But it will contain multiple different areas that I think you're gonna love. So just sit back, place your feet up, and yeah, enjoy. And don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channel guys. If you're new, I have 4 more which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So why don't you go ahead and just obliterate that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. So without further ado, let's begin this now guys. Even before his ascension, he was always gravely powerful. He went to countless planets after planets. He was the first. How he was created? He was created from a single tree. No one, through the entire history of time, some that were able to traverse and live through for eons, did not know exactly where that tree originated from. However, the tree was a source of great power. It combined that power and held it down. That power stirred and built and formed a being. A being with unimaginable power. With a wave of his arm, he can make the clouds tremble. He can make lightning rain from the heavens. Storm, chaos. He was the original. He was the number one. His name was Shibai Otsutsuki. When he was brought into this universe, the tree died. He didn't know why. However, his mind was set to become perfect. To become a being that could not be bound by the laws of this universe. He wanted to be above it all. He wanted to understand everything. He wanted to know everything. He wanted to be a god of gods. So he went. He went around the universe. He kept on absorbing and absorbing planets and planets and planets until he finally achieved what he desired. He became the first Otsutsuki god. The one and only. The original. However, godhood was not what he expected. So he decided to create a race of beings like himself. Weaker in comparison, but his will was so overwhelmingly strong that upon their creation, they also seek to become perfect as well. They seek to become a god just like him. They did not know about their origin. He made sure of that. He spread rumors that he was a god. They did not know anything. They were born into this world knowing that he was a god, and a Otsutsuki that became a god by devouring planets after planets. So, with his will so strongly inside of them, they started to do the same. He spent thousands of years watching them, watching part of him conquer the universe, eviscerate planets, However, even that did not bring him the joy that he desired. That is when he felt it. There was something else, another source, a way that he could transcend what he already was. He could be everything and everywhere. He could move to a higher plane of existence. Not even he, in his former life of thinking, thought that this would be possible. But after years, his power grew so much that he started to reach at the pinnacle of godhood, beyond what he was right now. But in doing so, he had to release every connection that he had to this existence. He had to release the former abilities that he had with his humanoid body. He had to transcend. He had to release it all to truly understand, divine, and truly reach a level where he would be above it all, to achieve a greatness that no one else in the universe could ever achieve. Not even he knew the true answer. He scoured the universe, searching for one that would be worthy enough to be the future leader of the Otsutsukis. Maybe it was his time that he spent watching over them. However, they were his children. All of them that he created was. But he did not see any of them that would take the leadership position. All of them were just an extension of him. They had one clear goal in mind. But they needed someone to change that. They needed someone to stand at the forefront of this universe and conquer it. The universe was vast, always expanding, new life born in. That was something else why he couldn't ascend to the other level. He has grown sentimental, seeing them as a part of him as his children. He need to release all of those feelings, despite what he was right now. But none of them were worthy of this power. He did not see any of them that fits the leadership position. Because once he left this plane of existence, not even he knew what would follow after that. He came across a little planet where one of the Otsutsukis decided to flee to. She did it for love. She had children. And her children, one of them, spread chakra throughout this small world. He had came across a lot of races that possess unusual abilities, some of them possessing strong life force. But this was the first because he was the holder of chakra. He was the one that brought it. Others did not use his energy. He watched this little planet. However, something caught his interest. It's been a long while since something caught him to observe it this keenly. And he saw his target. This boy, so broken, so empty, filled with anger to gain revenge, to make them pay. He had it. He had what he was looking for deep down. He had it. His vast knowledge about many things had spread through the other Otsutsukis that he created. So yes, they knew about the mark, where they could live on even after death, becoming a part of one after they marked them, the karma. This was his, but it was going to be a bit different. After all, once he does this, a smile on his face that could not be seen because he did not have a physical form, as he was currently residing in the elemental nation. Meanwhile, in the elemental nation, he ran, he jumped, he leaped. As he was leaping from tree to tree with all the strength that he could muster because of his weakened body, he knew that he would pass out soon enough if he kept on going at this rate. He heard the thunder. Damn it, he cursed. Rain was coming down. He had to find somewhere to hunker down for the night. Suddenly a flash of lightning went off. He gazed up towards the heavens. It then happened. A violent thunderous blast of lightning screeched down from the sky. The boy glanced up, his eyes widened. Boom! The entire landscape was rearranged. His body was hit on point blank. He found himself in a white, empty space. His eyes were barely open. However, someone was talking to him. You have what I've been looking for the longest time now. But your mindset is too small. Your body is too weak. At the rate you're going, you will die. And you will never achieve anything. The boy stood there listening all of that. Everything was just so foggy and hazy. However, I will give you something. The boy winced as something burned into his palm. With that, you shall achieve greatness. My children will come, and they will refuse. They're headstrong, just like me. They will refuse to bow. However, show them that you are my successor. Show them that you can hold this universe with an iron grasp. The moment true enlightenment comes to you, you will understand the true dangers out there and the true threat. However, with that gift, you should be able to conquer them all. Let your name spread through the universe, just like mine is. Be my successor and conquer it all. And take my words to heart. Your human body will be changing. The more you change, the stronger you become. Control my power. Do not let it consume you. It will try to take a mind of its own, to be the one in control, but I see that fire blazing in your heart. Prove to it that you are the true, rightful owner. Otherwise, you shall be consumed. Grow with that power and rule it all as my successor. Shibai finally released it all. He found himself in the empty. He could feel it all. He could feel the transition. He was ascending beyond the level of godhood to something else. He could feel it. The unknown was exciting him. He hasn't been excited in centuries. Everything had gotten so bored. Finally, he released it. The tree that birthed him, it had sucked the energy from this universe, this plane of existence. Therefore, he was still bound to it. Well, his powers were. But he gave those bound powers away. He removed all the emotions and sympathy that he had for his children. He was empty, just an empty vessel. And now after centuries, he was transcending to another plane. His body, he even felt his physical body reforming as he found himself stepping into another world of existence. Something that his mind was struggling to comprehend. And with that, he was gone to places unknown to anyone in the universe. The being that started with the vast, extreme powers has now transcended beyond God to something far, far different. Excel beyond this universe, this multiverse, this reality, beyond it all. Meanwhile, at the elemental nation, the mightiest village, it was known as Konoha, standing tall for years upon years now. Konoha always birthed exceptional people, exceptional shinobis, all of them with a vast array of abilities. Konoha has always came out on top throughout the wars. It has always been number one. Yes, it has. At the moment residing in the office was a blonde-haired man sitting in his chair. He was the fourth Hokage of the village. His name. Many knew his name. Minato Namikaze, otherwise known as the Yellow Flash, the fastest and deadliest man to walk, the elemental nation in this time period. Minato watches the Anvu bow in front of him. Sir, we were unable to locate him. Minato frowned. He dismissed the man. All the man was bringing him was bad news. The boy escaped. His son, to be quite exact. The door opened up. A red-headed woman came inside. Was he found? No. Said Minato. What? Given his weakened state, how was he able to escape? I do not know. But given the time frame, he's been gone for some time. He might be weak, but he had a lot of time to plot his escape. And now he's gone. I doubt that he's still in the land of fire. Minato frowned here and that. Kushina glanced towards him. If he come after my children, I'm gonna kill him, she said. Despite the boy being his son, Minato did not disapprove to what she said. After all, they were his children. We'll find them. She turned and she left, leaving Minato there. He knew that Kushina had never truly forgiven him. Every time she heard Naruto's name, it brought back memories. Minato took a breath in and a breath out. He had a son. He didn't want to have that child, but she did not tell him until it was too late, knowing that he wouldn't approve. Before they had their current children, they were having problems. They got into this nasty fight. Things were really bad. Worse than he could have ever expected. They did not break up, but they could not stand each other. He was working, things was just... Well, he went to the bar that night. Being the man that he is, there has been many kunoichis that has crushed on him over the years. And he came across one of them in his drunken state. He didn't know what he was thinking. He made a mistake. The next morning, he told her that it couldn't happen, breaking it off. However, she was obsessive. He actually felt bad for her. She seemed to be in love with him. She was just one of them that had watched him from afar. So when she had her chance, she jumped at it. However, she just stopped after a while. He thought that she had given up until him and Kushina made up and she arrived with his son. He was frightened. He of course had a test done to confirm that it was his son. Kushina did not talk to him for a long while, angry that he had cheated on her. And the boy's mother was not happy as well. She didn't like Kushina. They were in the same academy. They were never friends. Things got bad. Minato was not there when he arrived. He had tried to make things work, but they wouldn't go for it. Kushina said that she still loved him, but this really hurt her. Kushina and her got into a battle. Minato was not there when he arrived. The woman was bleeding from her head. He was shocked. He had to quickly rush her to the hospital. However, she did not make it. What Kushina did was horrible, and as the Hokage, he had to do something about it. However, she told him that he had to cover it up. To keep it to himself, she would let go of what he did, but he couldn't afford to put that on her name. The woman was also a kunoichi of the village. So Minato did what he thought was best. He covered it up. The girl had a sister. He tried to find her, but she was missing. Kushina did not like to see Naruto. It was a constant reminder of what happened. And despite her saying that she could forgive Minato, it was always there. She just didn't bring it up. Naruto was smart from an early age, but he was lacking in the shinobi department badly. Despite being Minato's son, many people had took notice of that. However, it was a short while ago that his mother's sister came back. She attacked Kushina in broad daylight. She was aiming to kill her. The Anvus had no choice. They had to put her down, as she tried to come after them as well. But she paid a little visit before she came to attack Kushina. She told Naruto everything about what happened. Apparently, she knew and she suspected what happened and the big cover-up. Things were tense at that time because Kushina had gave birth to two beautiful children, a boy and a girl. The third Hokage had sacrificed his life, sealing the tail beast half in both of them and the excess chakra. Kushina was able to survive. The Uzumakis were truly powerful. The excess chakra also played a big part as well. Naruto knew that his stepmother always despised him and his father always took her side. He had a feeling that his father never wanted him. He knew nothing about his mother. So when he was told by his so-called aunt about everything, he was livid. He lost his mind in rage. He wanted to make his stepmother suffer. He lost his mind. Kushina found him though. Before he could go through with it, he had a kitchen knife and he was going after the twins to end their existence. Kushina had quickly knocked him out. What followed after that was a downward spiral. Minato tried to keep them together, even placing Naruto in therapy, but Naruto despised them all. He wanted them all to pay for what they did. Minato decided to do something drastic. He sealed away all of Naruto's memories about what had happened. However, Inoichi had told him that he could not permanently destroy any memories. The boy would just have to be watched. Naruto's mind was always strong and sharp. It took years, but he was able to remember. That is when he tried to attack her once again. He tried to end them in their sleep. However, they were both Jinchurikis, and the Fox Chakra came into play, saving their life. Their terrifying screams had woken up Minato and Kushina, who came in. Naruto was placed under arrest. He had to plead his case. However, his father was a damn Hokage, and that wretched woman she was the wife of the Hokage. They made it seem like he was insane, like he was always jealous of the twins because he was not strong like them. He was not special. They falsified so many things. They wanted the world to know that they were not bad people, that their child was just touched in the head and he needed to be locked away. It made things worse when Naruto lost it and started to bite people when he was restrained. So they tossed him in prison. That wretched woman had came to visit him, and she made sure to tell him that he will rot inside of here for what he did. And he was locked away for years until he escaped. No one knew how it happened. There was no evidence, no signs of how exactly did he escape his prison. But he has been gone for some time now. He wasn't that big of a threat. After all, he had nothing special going for him. And he was never truly trained in the art of being a ninja. So yes, he was not a threat. However, Minato had a reputation to keep. All of them did. And they didn't want it ruined. Kushina had made sure that the twins knew that their brother was someone that despised them, someone that was jealous of them. He was a monster through and through, and they should despise him. And they listen well to their mother. Minato just hope they can find him before he did something stupid. Time skip. He was dreaming. Life has been one word. Hell. Yes. Hell. For him. His father was never there. Always in the office. He even believed that his father hated him as well, because he was a constant reminder, now that he knew everything, of his mistake. Yes, his aunt had told him everything. His mom, her name was Ajisai. She was a wonderful woman. She loved Minato. From she was in the academy. It wasn't some childhood crush, she loved him. She tried to gain his attention, but he didn't even notice her, because she wasn't special. She wasn't even visible to him. So that night, when she was with him, she told her sister everything. Her sister left out some of the details but informed Naruto of much. Ajisai just wanted Minato to accept her feelings. She had been a bit overboard with it, but she found out that she was pregnant. She wanted to have the child, so when she brought it up to Minato, he would have to accept them. However, things did not turn out as she hoped. She knew that Kushina was back in the picture, but she believed she was able to give him a child, not Kushina. But even then, he still wanted Kushina in his life. Ajisai couldn't understand. Her and Kushina were getting more and more heated until they came to blows. His aunt was able to find the medical reports. They did not think that anyone would be looking for it, as they were destroying evidence. The trauma suffered to her temple. They lied and said that it was on a mission. Ajisai did not take solo missions, so that was a big lie, of course. Covering up her death. She had run away, knowing that they would be after her as well, knowing that Ajisai had told her many things, so she was forced to hide, waiting for her perfect move. She heard that Kushina had been weakened after the whole Nine-Tail attack, and she believed that was the opportunity that she was looking for. However, the Anvus got in her way. She died. Yes, she died. But not before telling Naruto everything. Naruto had made sure to search for himself. He looked, he searched, trying to find out if anything she was saying was true. And he found his mother, mission roster. She never took a solo mission. Minato could not delete her out of the roster because, by their point of view, she died on a mission. She was a hero of the village. However, that was not what happened at all. Those betraying liars. Naruto has been through so much. Kushina despised him. She always made sure he was dying for hunger before she even think of feeding him anything. She always gave him these looks. She made sure that he had the worst of clothes. She didn't want him anywhere near her. She always referred to him as the mistake. He hated her and she hated him. And every time his father sided with her, he hated the man just a bit more. He lost his mind that night. He went after his brother and sister to end them, to make Kushina suffer, but she got him. His father had forcefully sent him to therapy. The memory blockers worked for a few years until he did remember the hate that he felt. He instantly tried to go after them once again, but they just wouldn't die that easily. That damn beast inside of them refused to let them die easily, and he was caught. The next thing he knew, he was in a straitjacket. They made him look like a insane person at the trial, so they wouldn't have a bad image. He told the populace everything, but no one believed him. All of them. He despised all of them. They agreed with those monsters, so that made them monsters as well. They deserve to suffer, to pay for what they did. They locked him away, basically throwing away the keys. In jail. Now that's where he got the snot beaten out of him. His lovely stepmom had made sure a few people inside get a special reward if they beat the crap out of him. Day after day, night after night. It was hell. However, someone gave him a helping hand. That person was still in the village. The only person that he was not going to slaughter. The only person that he was not going to burn. However, he was so weak. How was he going to achieve what he desired? Naruto's eyes snapped open. What the hell? He spat as there was so much dirt in his mouth. Damn it, he jumped to his feet. He immediately felt lightheaded, but there was nothing to hold on to. He focused as much as he could to see. Chaos. The place was destroyed, ripped and torn apart in the most horrendous way possible. He was frightened by the disaster. What happened to him? He gripped his skull as he heard someone talking. However, the words were so hard to understand. He dropped to his knees and puked. Looking into his hand, there was blood. He started to cough out more blood as he dropped to his side. Was he dying? Naruto thought to himself as he rolled on the ground in agony. His rolling caught the attention of a few nearby bandits who were passing through the area. Well, what do we have here? There were two of them. Another one a bit behind. They looked at each other confused as Naruto gripped his skull and screamed. The pain was a lot. Hey, shut the hell up, the bandit on the right said. You're just attracting the animals. Naruto could barely hear what he was saying. Could barely make out what he was saying. As he leaned forward, once again he coughed, blood leaking out of his mouth. Something was wrong with him. Something was really wrong with him. I said, shut the hell up. The bandit on the right rushed towards him as Naruto held out his hand. Without even knowing, a blast of electricity shot from his palm and tore through the guy's skull. His friend was speechless. The moment Naruto released the electricity, the pain seemed to lessen. The other guy couldn't believe it until his mind snapped into focus. You rotten little... He rushed forward. However, Naruto held his hand out. Electricity burst through his guts. This wasn't just any normal electricity. It tore his stomach asunder. He collapsed, trying to hold in what was still there. But the hole was too big. He died instantly. The pain was going away slowly. The third bandit came rushing down as Naruto threw his arm out, but nothing came. The bandit saw his two friends as he slammed the club that he had in his hand across Naruto's skull. Naruto was knocked unconscious instantly. Time skip. He slowly started to wake up. He was confused what was going on. As he started taking his surroundings, his eyes adjusting, he could see giant metal bars in front of him. That is when he noticed there was other people as he moved away. He got up only to bump his head. Easy now, someone said. The cell is not large enough for you to stand. Cell? Where the hell am I? Said Naruto. They kidnap you, just like they did for the rest of us. That is when Naruto felt the vibrations. Are we moving? Yeah. I've heard about them, but I never thought I would be one of their victims. We're not strong enough to fight them off. I heard they had hundreds of men. Naruto looked up to face the person that he was corresponding with. It was a woman. She seemed to be in her early 30s. She had tear marks going down her face. She looked towards him with sympathy, despite her situation just as his. Where are they taking us? I'm afraid I don't know that. Naruto glanced as he saw more people. Kids, boys and girls, grown men, grown women as well. All of the men were bound and tied and roughed up. Some of the girls were tending to their wounds. It seems like they tried to fight. He looked down towards his hands. His hands were also tied up as well. He leaned against the bars. How old are you? The woman asked. 16, said Naruto. What was someone like you doing out here by yourself in the wilderness? It's been a really long day, said Naruto. A lot has happened. What about you? How did they get you? He asked. They attacked my village. They rushed in with a lot of their forces, causing confusion and mayhem, and in the process they kidnapped a lot of us. I know what is going to happen to us girls after we arrive at this place. All I can do now is pray that Kami be with us. And as for you, I'm not sure what they will do with you guys, she said to him. I've heard a lot of rumors, but none of them are good. Naruto was still trying to recover from the head trauma, which was slowly dissipating as he coughed. Are you okay? She said, blood coming out of his mouth. Yeah, I'm fine, said Naruto, just a bit roughed up. He shook his head, his eyes finally fully adjusting as he saw the scared people. He remembered himself at that age, terrified. As he moved, his blonde, spiky hair, just like his father, switched to the side. Is that a tattoo? What are you talking about? Said Naruto. Your arm. Naruto looked towards his hand. What the hell? He said to himself as he looked towards the center of his hand. There was a strange mark in his hand. It was shaped like a star. On his right hand there were several black markings running from where the star was. They did not connect to the star. They went up to his shoulder. They went across his chest to his other hand as well, where there was another star in there as well. Naruto looked down in his shirt to see the markings covering his entire body. He was heavily confused. It ran up to his neck. Is it on my face? Yes. It runs over both of your eyes, going into your hairline, she said. You seem surprised by them. Because I didn't have these earlier, said Naruto. You didn't? So what are they? I am not. Naruto was cut off by the sound of breaking. The ropes that were around his hand, they broke by him flexing too much. The woman blinked in shock. How did you... Shh, said Naruto, as he heard what they were in coming to a stop. He pushed himself up against the railing, the bars to be quite exact, as he hid his hands behind him. He heard two people talking. The woman kept looking at him as he glanced towards her with a look to remain quiet. Suddenly light came in. The cloth that was hanging over was thrown off, exposing as many of the kids huddled to the side. A man was laughing. Don't worry, kiddies, he said. You'll all be just fine, as long as you behave nice. Oh, and you, he said. Me, said Naruto. Yeah, the boss is gonna want to meet you after what you did to two of his men. He's gonna give you a pretty simple offer. You either work for us, or you die. If I were you, I would work for us. Huh. Well, I'm not you, said Naruto. Huh. A funny one. Won't be so funny when he cuts your tongue out. The guys start to fish for the keys as he pulled the cell door. Now come on, he said, reaching for Naruto. Naruto jumped. It was a truly unusual jump. He simply threw his body outwards. His feet crashed into the guy's chest. The sounds of ribs breaking could be heard. The guy collapsed as Naruto dug both his fingers, his thumb, into the guy's eyes, causing him intense pain. Naruto pressed and pressed and pressed until, unknowingly, his hand flattened the guy's skull on the ground with tremendous force on his part. Naruto blinked as he looked at his bloody hands. He was shocked by his strength. This was... what the hell? Hey, what the... Naruto rushed forward and jumped at the other guard as he crashed into him knee first. Naruto's knee crashed into the guy's throat and slammed his skull against the ground, breaking the back of his head. Upon doing that, the guy's scream had alerted many. Naruto realized that he was inside of a strange place where he saw no exits. What the hell is going on? Naruto glanced up. His hands and feet bloody as he stood in the blood. There was a man standing there with a long jagged scar going down his right eye. He was dressed in a simple silver suit. He walked down the stairs, raising his hand to his man to stop. Let me guess, you are the killer of 4 of my men now that I've heard so much about. The party that reached yesterday informed me about you. So, tell me, young one, why did you kill my people? He said with a confident smile. He was so relaxed. Well, as you can see, they've kidnapped me and these people. I figure it was the only right thing to do to escape. Escape? All the other guys start to laugh. It seems like you don't understand. What's going on? I mean, look around you. You're not blind, are you? No, I'm not blind, said Naruto. However, I'm not gonna become your worker or anything if that is what you believe. Well, I do give newcomers the option of coming over to my side or experiencing a truly horrendous death. So I'll give you one more chance because I'm such a generous guy. Join me. You're strong. I'll pay you well. Naruto glanced over his shoulder as all the people that came out of the caravan, the back of it that is, as Naruto glanced down towards the attachment that attached to the wagon with the horses. I wonder, he said to himself. What was that? The boss man yelled out. Can't hear you from up here. I said, go and screw yourself. I'm not gonna become your bitch like these others. Naruto ran as he grabbed the caravan link and squeezed. He ripped it apart. Just as he thought that he broke the other one, he then grabbed on to the bars as he started to swing. The boss' eyes went wide as Naruto threw it. Boom! It crashed into the wall. Go! Now, he shouted towards the woman. She quickly told him to move as they all started to run towards. He finally saw the exit. Naruto started to run behind them until 2 of the guys, they all seemed to have ninja training. These one in here, their blades were coming down to his neck to end his life. However, something was wrong. Time seemed to be moving slower than usual. Naruto dodged both of the blades when suddenly he could see right through the guys. He could see their heart beating. What the hell? He pulled his fist back and launched it, slamming it right in that spot. Because of his new powerful vision, he saw the force that his fist lashed out with. The force slammed into the guy's heart, and it started to bleed uncontrollably. The guy spat up blood and collapsed down to his knees. The other one, Naruto grabbed his own hand and stabbed his blade through his skull. The force that he used ended up ripping the guy's arm off. Naruto stepped back once again, shocked and amazed by his unbelievable strength. Having been weak for his entire life, this was a truly shocking event to him. Naruto saw the guy behind him. Despite facing frontwards as he ducked, he then brought his heel up in the guy's special area. He could feel the squish. As Naruto had slammed so much force, the guy blacked out instantly. He flipped over 3, thrown projectiles. Several others were thrown in mid-air. Naruto waved his hand out of pure desperation as lightning burst from his hand. He waved his other hand as flames was sent towards the guys over to the side. They were forced to leap away or be burned to nothingness. Naruto was truly baffled by what the hell was going on. His eyes had returned back to normal, so he was not able to see the large guy that snuck up behind him and gripped him. Naruto felt an enormous amount of pressure. The guy smirked. "Now, I'm gonna crush you where you stand." He started to squeeze as Naruto felt his muscles tightening. "No, you're not," he said. He started to expand his own hand. The man who was larger than him by a great distance was baffled as Naruto was pushing his arm out. "Oh, how are you doing this?" he said, baffled by Naruto's unbelievable strength. As Naruto pushed his arms away, Naruto dropped and turned. Upon turning, he drove his fist right into the center of the guy's chest. He slammed into several of his friends, crushing their bones as he was sent sailing. Naruto screamed in pain as he was hit in the back with several shurikens and kunais. Suddenly a guy appeared and drove a blade right through his stomach. Naruto collapsed down to his knees, coughing up blood as he did. Another one drove 2 kunais into his shoulder blades. Another one kicked his foot away, allowing him to fall face first, the sword driving deeper inside of him. They then held him down as the boss came walking over. "Quite a show you put on, but it's over." The boss held his hand out as a man passed him a blade, a ninjutsu, as he placed it in front of Naruto's face. "It will be my pleasure to end your existence for what you've come in here and done," he said, raising the blade. Shit, Naruto thought to himself. He got overconfident, and now he was going to die. He would never get his revenge on those horrible people. He will never let them suffer for what they did, because he failed. Damn it. He cursed himself over and over as he lay there in pain. What was he saying? He's been through too much shit to just die now. He refused to just die. He refused. A violent eruption of power started to swell inside of him. As Naruto could feel it, it wanted out. So he let it out. The whole entire underground facility. On the outside, they were able to get through. The woman was worried as they had just left him behind there. However, she had to get the kids to safety. They finally made it to the outside when suddenly the entire top exploded into the sky. The literal land platform, because they had been underground, flew into the heavens. It came back down with a boom. Mass destruction and chaos. She and the kids were blown away, knocked off their feet. What the hell? She said, looking towards the mass destruction. Meanwhile, inside, the boss was coughing. There was a lot of rubble on him. Several of his men were getting up. They had been thrown into the wall rather violently. However, a lot of them were still alive. He included. What the hell just happened? He thought to himself. That is when he saw the boy. What the hell? Naruto himself was rather shocked. His whole body was glistening with an unknown energy. He felt chakra because he had chakra, but he just wasn't special. But this was not chakra. This felt different. And yet at the same time it felt like chakra, but different, better, more powerful, more divine. A guy came rushing towards him as Naruto thrusts his hand out. The force alone was able to snap the guy's spine. Naruto was shocked. Another one came swinging. A tiny blade to its throat. Naruto grabbed the blade. To his surprise, he did not get cut. He yanked it, therefore pulling the guy as he grabbed his face and lifted him off the earth. He then brought him down. Boom! He eviscerated the ground with his body. Naruto was baffled by his new powers. Where the hell did this came from? The boss was fleeing for his life. Where do you think you're going? Naruto felt something as he held his hand out. Red chains appeared. He gripped said chains made from pure chakra as he swung before he threw it outwards. It grabbed the boss' leg and yanked him. Naruto threw him into the wall. The man was defenseless. He had money. There were rumors because he did some things. However, he himself was not a fighter. Yes, he could fight, but it was rather pathetic. Where are you running off to? Said Naruto. Wait, you don't have to do this. I'm a very wealthy man. I can pay you anything you want. I can give you anything you want. Land, money, power, ladies, anything. All you have to do is just to let me out of here, and I'll give you whatever you desire. Is that so? Said Naruto. He gripped the man by his throat. I've heard a lot of empty promises in my life, such as my father promising that things would get better. And when you speak, all I can hear is empty promises. Besides, weren't you the one saying how you were going to kill me, make me suffer and all of that? Naruto picked him up by his throat. He started to grab at Naruto's hand, trying to get free. Naruto looked down toward the chain. Suddenly it started to change, until it turned into a spear. Naruto turned and threw the boss. He watched as he was falling. He grabbed the spear and turned before he launched it. It burst through the skull of the boss and slammed into the wall. The power left Naruto's body as he collapsed down to his knees and hurled. He hurled up a lot of blood. He didn't know what was wrong with him. Maybe this was a side effect of having this much power. At least, the headache was getting less and less. Naruto picked himself up. Shit. He fell face first until he was caught by the woman. Time skip. Naruto slowly regained consciousness. He was confused once again where he was. The last thing he could remember. He heard the noise of the door. Huh, you're awake. As he glanced over to see. Oh, I didn't tell you my name, she said. It's Aya, she said. Aya, where am I? What's the last thing you remember, she said to him. passing out and seeing your face. Well, I was able to bring you here. Where is here? My home. It turns out that the hideout was not far away from where I live. They were just deep underground. What about the others? A few came from here, said Aya. However, a few came from neighboring villages. Our leader is currently sorting that out. Naruto picked himself up as he coughed. Easy now, she said. Here, drink. She handed him the glass as Naruto drank the water. His throat was really dry. Thanks. But I gotta get going, he said. Not after what you just went through. Strangely enough though, you're not injured in the slightest. I'm not. Naruto said, checking himself over in the mirror, as he was able to see the markings on his face now. Huh. Well, those were a lot. Unfortunately, I can't stay here, said Naruto. There are some people looking for me, and this will unknowingly draw their attention. I can't afford to stay here and get you and your people in danger. So you have to leave, she said. Yeah, said Naruto. Wait right here, she said. She made her way and she came back a few minutes later. She had a large bag. What's this? I got some stuff for you. I figured that you're on some sort of journey. However, I did not see anything with you. I thought the bandits might have took it. So I got this stuff for you. Naruto looked at the clothing. There was even money, food packed away. Why are you doing this? He said. You don't even know me. That's right. I don't. And you don't even know me, and yet you fought for us. It's the least I can do. Thank you, said Naruto. The look on his face was genuine joy. It's rarely times that people give him something because they wanted to, not because they were obligated to. How long have I been out? Said Naruto. A day and, well, almost 2 days now. Shit. Sorry, but I have to go, said Naruto. It was nice meeting you, Aya. It was nice meeting you as well. What's your... Sorry. I can't tell you that, said Naruto. I don't want them knowing anything about me being here. And knowing about me would just get you in trouble. So please, forget about everything that you saw. You didn't see me here. She locked her lips, a sign of showing that she would not say a word, as Naruto headed out, quickly as he could. While he was out of the Fire Nation, he was not that far, going beyond their search parameters. If they did, they would definitely find him. He had to get the hell out of here. He was right, Aya thought. A few short hours later, there was a few people that came to the village. Her leader had called her. She was the one with the most sensible understanding in everything that was going on. So yeah, and she had saw the most. The others were either injured or unconscious. She found herself face to face with an Anvu, one of those special ninjas from a village, the Hidden Leaf Village, one of the great nations. They had a photograph as she took it. She kept her face calm and serene. She looked it over. No, I'm afraid that he was not there, she said rather calmly. Well, there you have it, the mirror said, as the two people that came there took their leave soon after. She couldn't believe it. He was running away from that powerful village. What could he have done? She thought to herself. She just hoped that he was okay. She didn't know why, but she felt like they were the bad guys in all of this. Despite not knowing exactly what happened, she just did not see him as a bad guy, whatever his name was. Meanwhile, as Naruto was breezing through a forest, he felt amazing. The bag did not bother him, the weight. His speed was so incredible. He breezed past trees. Everything was looking like a blur. And he can go even faster. Zoom! He was gone, tearing through the forest. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace, guys.